Hi, I'm Kara Hoekstra, and I'm here today to talk to you about brush lettering. Just a little about me. I'm married to my husband Heath, and we have a son together, Hank. He is 5 years old. He will be the one and only. He's enough for us. But whenever he was a baby, Amy Patterson watched him at the preschool that he attends. So Amy Patterson asked if I could come here and do this, and here I am. For this brush lettering course, the only thing you will really need is a Tombow pen, preferably Tombow. Doesn't have to be this brand, but it has the brush tip on one end and the fine tip on the other. And your Tombow printouts that were on the Tombow website. You should have received access to that. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is look at the different types of brush strokes that we will be using in writing our letters. So there are two types of main brush strokes. There's the downstroke and the upstroke. Before we get into those, let's talk about how you are going to hold your pen. If you're anything like me, you tend to hold your pen like this. This is not how we want to hold the brush pen. The brush pen needs to be held back towards the middle of the pen and at a larger angle than what you would normally hold your regular pen. It may take a little bit of practice to get used to this, but the point is you want to be able to flow through your strokes. So we'll start with the downstroke. The downstroke is supposed to be a large, wide stroke. To get that wide effect, you press down, pressing down, and keep practicing, pressing down. You want to have some pressure when you go down. It may look a little streaky at first, but it's okay. It tends to dry up pretty nicely. So keep going across, working on that downstroke, keeping it as even as possible, keeping that pressure tight until you make it to the end. There. The downstroke is probably my favorite one because I like to put pressure on the pen. The upstroke is a little bit more difficult for me, but with the upstroke, it's more or less what you see. We're going from the bottom up. You want to use light pressure on this, just using the tip of the pen. This is what will help define your letters once you get to those and have those nice pretty strokes. In your lettering as a whole. So keep working on your upstroke, barely using the tip of your pen till you get all the way across. Now I hope you have a color that you like. You're using a color that you enjoy. This is one of my favorite colors, this teal here. Just makes it more fun when you're playing around with colors you like. Not all brush pens are created equally. I do highly recommend these pens. I'm not a dealer or anything. I don't sell Tombow pens. But they do write very nicely. Okay, so you can keep going with your upstrokes all the way across. Once you feel comfortable with that, we're going to combine the two moves into an upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke. This may look a little intimidating at first because it's hard to go from light pressure to strong pressure, light pressure to strong pressure. But the beauty of the brushstroke lettering is that you do not have to do everything in one fluid move. So to illustrate what I mean by that, I'm going to take this on my upstroke. I'm going to lift my pen away, line up for the next downstroke, and come down like that. Same thing here. Up, pen away, down, up, up, down. So when I try it on my own, you'll see me lift the pen multiple times. Feel free to print out as many of these as you would like so that you can do practicing on your own. Now this is going to be an up and down kind of wavy shape. This is going to be seen in letters like W, N, U, stuff like that. So we're going to start up and roll down. This you do have to do in one more type of a fluid move, but you can take a break from here to here, stop, here to here, stop, here to here, stop. So I'll start right here and I will go up. This is just practice. Down with that heavy stroke, stop. Up, down on the heavy, stop. Up, down, and up. Practice over here. You may notice that your pen makes a noise when you go down with the downstroke. That is what you want to hear. Means you're giving it the right amount of pressure. See, I didn't get that perfectly like this one, but that's okay. It's just about practicing the moves. Now this is obviously going to be pretty common with your C's and your O's and whatnot. This suggestion says to start right here in an upstroke, come in a downstroke and finish in an upstroke. I really don't like that personally because I think it's pointless to kind of change from up, down, up when you can just go down and up. So that's how I'm going to do it. Feel free to do whatever feels comfortable for you. I'm going to start down, then up, down, then up, down, up, down, up, down, up, up, and up. All right, so those are the basic moves for the brush lettering that we will be doing. We'll start the alphabet next. And if you feel like you need to continue working on these basic moves, feel free to get your own copy paper or whatever paper you would like to practice on and keep going from there. Now we're going to work on lowercase letters. To work on your lowercase letters, you will need these printouts from the Tombow website, starting with lowercase a, b, c, and so forth. We will go through each letter individually and then move on. First letter we will start with obviously is A. We'll work our way through Z. I'm not going to do each letter all the way across, but you feel free to go ahead and do it on your own at home. So for the A, we're going to start here, work our way down, come up, pull your pen and stop, and then pull down with a little bit of hook at the end. Again, you can take your time on this. I know in the previous section, we did not start right here with the O's. We started at the top. If you would rather start at the top, that's fine. Just go down, pull it up, pull in right there, and then you're done. So it looks like a C right here. And then we just put the end of the A on it. Do one more. There we go. And now for B. This particular B is not my favorite way to use B, but we're going to go with what they have on this letter. So for here, you start in this middle section of the B and do your upstroke. Then come down, pick up your pen, upstroke, and then you can stop if you need to. Then come down and put the curl in. So we'll start like this. Stop. Pull in your upstroke, downstroke, upstroke. kind of looks like an H. I can go back and do that later. Make it better. If you get a little wonky on your downstroke, you can always go back in and kind of feather the stroke so that it fills in. Okay, so there we have the B. Now for C. Again, you can do this like we did the O and start right here, come down, upstroke, and then come back in and fill in the little top of your C. Or you can start right here and work your way down in one move. It's typically how I do my Cs. And there you have it. So for the D, they did this in 2 different sections as well. This kind of starts off like a B coming around here, and then you add in something pretty similar to the C. So we'll do it like this. Upstroke, then downstroke, then upstroke, stop, downstroke, upstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, little up, down, and up. Upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, little up, down, and up. See, mine doesn't look perfectly like this, like what the Tombow template is, and that is okay, because you want this to be your own. Okay. Now I don't like how this is a little bit thick right here. I didn't do very well on my upstroke, so if I want to make this downstroke a little wider, I'm just going to pull this down. Okay, now we'll work on the E's. Go ahead and go over. Little upstroke, you can stop, and then downstroke. Little up. Over, upstroke, downstroke, up. Over, upstroke, downstroke, up. I'm going to fill that in right there since I didn't get my downstroke going very well. One more, over, upstroke, downstroke, and up. So on the next page, we start with the letter F. This F is a little different than what I normally do. However, to trace what they have, start with the upstroke, stop, downstroke, back to the up, and another little up. Upstroke, downstroke, up and up. My F's look a little bit different, like I said, so I tend to do mine a bit more narrow, but you can do yours again however you'd like. My F's will start like this, come down and up. Down and up. Again, this is just a guide, so you can make this however you want to. Make it your own, whatever you feel comfortable with. Okay, the G is pretty standard. You've got kind of what looks like an A on here with a long going down and a curl up. So to trace along, do a little O or a little up, downstroke, all the way up. Take a break if you need to. Downstroke, and then roll it into an upstroke. Same here, upstroke, down, roll it up, take a break, down, and there you go. Okay, next is the H, and this again looks like the F with that big wide loop coming around. So we'll go for the upstroke. You can stop if you need to. Go into a downstroke, stop, pull the H up, back down, and a little curl. Upstroke, down, up on the H, down, and a little curl. Up on the H, down, and up. Now for the letter I, it's pretty basic, not too hard to mess with. The biggest thing is getting your dot the way you want it to. So for the letter I, you do a downstroke, come up a little bit, and just kind of wiggle your pen around until you get the right dot that you're looking for. Down, up, dot. Down, up, dot. Okay, now moving on to the letter J. Pretty standard as well. Downstroke, stop if you need to, come into your upstroke, and dot the J. Downstroke, upstroke, dot the J. Downstroke, upstroke, dot the J. Downstroke, upstroke, dot the J. Moving on to the next page, we resume with the letter K. Their K is a little different than what I would do as well, but again, this is all about making it your own and what you feel comfortable with. So to do what they have, I'm going to start with the upstroke that was similar to our H. Go into the downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, flare out to the side. Upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, down, and to the side. My Ks tend to look like this. Not doing a very good job on my upstrokes right now. But that's how I do a K. L, kind of the same start to the K. Upstroke, downstroke, little curl. Upstroke, downstroke, little curl. Upstroke, downstroke, little curl. Now the M is a letter that you are probably going to need to start and stop on repeatedly. So to demonstrate that, first we will downstroke and stop. Pull up our pen to the upstroke and stop. Downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, little curl on the end. Downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, little curl on the end. Downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, and down with the little curl on the end. The N is pretty similar to the M, except you don't have that extra lettering on the back end. So you downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, little curl. Downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, little curl. Downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, little curl. Now moving on to the O. I kind of like how they do their O here. It's different than I do my O, but it's a little fun. So you start with the downstroke, and then I would recommend stopping. Pull up with your upstroke, bring it around and through. Downstroke, stop, upstroke, cross and through. Downstroke, stop, upstroke, cross and through. Got a little high on that one, but that's okay. These letters will make more sense once you start combining them into words. So on your next page, we are going to resume with the letter P. You don't have to do this little hook at the bottom. It's completely up to you, but if you were to do it, downstroke, upstroke. You can stop and pick back up at the top, upstroke, downstroke, little curl. Down, up, down, curl. My P's just look like that. Now moving on to the Q. This again looks like the start of a C. Little upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, stop, downstroke, up, and then curl. Up, down, up, down, up, curl. Again, you can go back and fill in what you feel like you missed. It's certainly easier to do the tracings than it is to do the free-handed lettering. And that's okay, just takes practice. I'm not even that great at it, but it's fun for me because I'm still learning too. Okay, moving on to the letter R. This one is one of my favorites, but it breaks the rules. So here we go up, over and down, and then to a downstroke. But you notice right here with this down, you're not actually doing a full force downstroke. You're still trying to keep it pretty skinny. So in order to do that, just stay on the tip of your pen, upstroke, over, make a little loop, stop, down, and curl. Up, make the loop, over, stop, down, and curl. Up, make the loop, stop, down, and curl. Up, make the loop, down, and curl. All right, moving on to the letter S. Start with an upstroke, pause, down. You want to try to get skinny and put in lighter pressure as soon as you hit the bottom. Upstroke, down, make your curl. Upstroke, down, make your curl. Upstroke, down, make your curl. Now the letter T is probably one of my favorites just because it's relatively easy. Just go for the downstroke, little up, and then cross. Downstroke, little up, and then cross. Downstroke, up, and cross. Okay, next page, we will resume with the letter U. We are almost to the end of our lowercase alphabet. U comes in a few different strokes as well. Start with a down, pause if you need to, come up, down, and a little up. Down, pause, up, down, little up. There you go. Now the V, down, stop, up, and a little over. The whole point of putting these little flares at the end is that this is how you will connect the letters. Not all of them obviously work well with this type of connection, so you have to kind of see what works best based on the word that you're spelling out. W is essentially two V's put together. Down, up, down, up, and over. Down, up, down, up, and over. Now for the letter X, they have a little line going up here, so just a little upstroke, downstroke with a curl. And then even though you're going to cross down on this, you're going to want to keep it light pressure to stay skinny. Up, down, up, and a light pressure downstroke. Up, down, up, light pressure downstroke. Now for the letter Y, kind of looks just like a W that comes down a little bit with the J on it. So we're going to go down, upstroke, down. I'm going to pause here and then bring up the rest. Down, pause, up, pause, down, pause, around. Down, up, down, around. So much easier to trace these upstrokes than it is to actually do it. Okay, the last letter we are going to work on today is the Z. We will not get to the uppercase alphabet today, but feel free to continue those on your own. Since we typically write in predominantly lowercase with a few uppercase cases every now and then, I wanted to focus on our lowercase today. So for the Z, it's an upstroke, downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, up. And there you go. You've just completed the alphabet. Now we're going to talk about a little bit of fun stuff you can do with water and your brush pens. So I'm going to be using this notebook. It is a mixed media notebook. It's totally optional, but the thing I like about it is that it has very thick pages. And when you use your water on the thicker page, it's not going to buckle like the copy paper does. Okay, so now we're going to learn about a little bit of fun stuff you can do with your brush pens and water. Here I have two pink brush pens, one that's a little lighter and darker. Same thing with the blues that I have here. Set those aside for now. This is called a water brush. Totally optional to have this, but you can fill it up with water and then the water will come out of the tip. And if you buy a Tombow set, this actually comes with each set. It is a clear pen that's used for blending as well. Okay, I'll go ahead and write my name. For this, I'm going to use the lighter color of the two pinks that I have. So I'm using the lighter shade. Up, down. Okay, I'm going to fill in some of these little gaps here. That's the beauty of it. You can do that as you need to. Now I'm going to take my darker pen and give this a little bit of contouring in key places. Okay. Now I'm going to use my water brush pen and very carefully, may need to squeeze it a little bit to get some water flowing. Looks like I've got water. Okay, come down to blend in that contouring with the main letter. You can see it kind of does this watercolor effect. You may need to use more water depending upon how much you want your contouring to blend in. Just kind of depends on personal taste. Just keep working at it. Pushing the water button on your pen if you need to get more water out. And here you have a little bit of blending going on, just to give your letters a little bit more definition. Next thing I'm going to show you is how you can create an ombre effect using a Ziploc bag. So here I have a Ziploc bag that I put a few drops of water on already. And I'm going to use my two blue pens. I'm going to use my dark blue pen and get it in the water and just create a little space of ink with water mixed together. Then I'm going to pick it up with my light pen, my lighter blue pen, and should create an ombre effect. You may find you have to keep dipping on occasion, and that's no problem. Trying to fill that in a little bit. You can see where the pen, the dark pen has, or the lighter pen has taken on that blue ink. And you may think, oh no, the color is ruined. But that is not the case. These pens are self-cleaning. And they will take care of themselves. If you need to help it along, just kind of scribble along, and you'll eventually get back to your original color. So that's a little bit of fun you can have with water. And of course, there's always more information on YouTube, so feel free to check out YouTube. Just search for brush lettering techniques. And I hope you guys had fun today, and maybe we'll see you again soon.